Every single night, something extraordinary happens inside your brain. Not in a hospital, not in a lab, not from a pill or supplement, but quietly, while you sleep. Your brain enters a repair mode, a state where it begins cleaning itself, rebuilding damaged cells, and restoring the very circuits responsible for your memory, focus, and clarity. But here's the truth most people never hear. This process is fragile, and for millions of people, especially after the age of 60, it's not working the way it should. You wake up tired, you forget simple things, names slip away, thoughts feel slower, and you start believing something dangerous. That this is just aging. But what if it's not? What if your brain isn't failing? It's simply not getting the right signals to repair itself. Because here's what science is now confirming. The brain does not passively age, it responds to your habits, to your environment, and most importantly, to what you do in the final hours before sleep. That short window, the last 1 to 2 hours before you close your eyes, may be the most important brain repair window of your entire day, and most people completely waste it. Late night snacks, sugary foods, heavy meals, or going to bed with nothing that actually supports brain recovery. And as a result, the brain goes into the night unprepared. The cleanup crew slows down, the repair systems weaken, and damage quietly builds, day after day, year after year, until one day, you notice it, the forgetfulness, the confusion, the loss of sharpness. But tonight, that changes, because I'm going to show you something simple, not a complicated routine, not an expensive protocol, just 3 everyday fruits. But when used correctly, at the right time, in the right way, they can support brain repair, improve memory, and protect your cognitive function as you age. And this isn't guesswork. This is based on real biological mechanisms happening inside your brain. Let's start by understanding something critical. Your brain has a cleaning system, a powerful one, but it only turns on during deep sleep. Think of it like a night shift. During the day, your brain is busy, processing information, handling stress, making decisions, but at night, it switches roles. It becomes a repair system, flushing out toxins, clearing waste, removing harmful proteins linked to cognitive decline. But here's the catch. The system only works properly if your brain enters deep, uninterrupted sleep. If your sleep is weak, fragmented, or shallow, that cleanup process gets disrupted. And when that happens, waste begins to build up inside the brain. This includes toxic proteins, like amyloid plaques, which are directly linked to memory loss and diseases like Alzheimer's. So the question becomes, how do you support this process? How do you help your brain do what it was designed to do? This is where food becomes powerful, because certain foods don't just provide energy, they provide signals that tell your body when to repair, when to rest, and how to function. And the right foods before bed can enhance everything your brain is trying to do overnight. Let's begin with the first fruit, blueberries. Now, on the surface, they seem ordinary, but inside them is something extraordinary. A group of compounds called anthocyanins. These are powerful antioxidants, but more importantly, they have the rare ability to cross into the brain. Most nutrients can't do that, but anthocyanins can. And once they enter the brain, they begin to activate something critical, a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This is essentially your brain's growth system. It helps create new neural connections, strengthens memory pathways, and protects brain cells from damage. Think of it like fertilizer for your brain. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. As you age, your BDNF levels naturally decline, which means your brain becomes less capable of repairing itself, less capable of forming new memories, less adaptable. But studies show that consuming anthocyanin-rich foods like blueberries can increase BDNF levels, helping your brain stay flexible, sharp, and responsive. But timing matters. When you eat blueberries during the day, you get general benefits. But when you eat them before sleep, something different happens. Those compounds begin circulating in your body and reach peak activity right when your brain is entering its memory consolidation phase. This is when your brain organizes and stores everything you experienced during the day. So instead of just sleeping, your brain is actively strengthening memory pathways, reinforcing learning, and improving recall. Now let's move to the second fruit, pomegranate. This one works deeper. At the cellular level, inside your body, pomegranate gets converted into a powerful compound, and this compound activates a process that most people have never heard of, but it's one of the most important processes for brain health: cellular cleanup. Inside your brain cells, there are tiny structures called mitochondria. They produce energy, but over time, they get damaged, and when they do, they start producing waste instead of energy. This slows down your brain, reduces mental clarity, and increases inflammation. But your body has a solution, a built-in recycling system. It removes damaged mitochondria and replaces them with new, healthy ones. But here's the problem. As you age, this system becomes weaker, slower, less effective, and damaged cells begin to accumulate. This is one of the hidden drivers of brain aging. Now here's where pomegranate comes in. It helps reactivate this cleanup process, helping your brain remove damaged components and restore healthier function. But again, timing is everything. When consumed before sleep, this process aligns with your body's natural repair cycle. So instead of just resting, your brain is actively renewing itself at the cellular level. Now let's talk about the third fruit. And this one might surprise you: kiwi. It doesn't look powerful. It's not marketed as a superfood, but its impact is undeniable because it targets the most important part of brain repair: sleep. Not just falling asleep, but deep sleep, because deep sleep is where everything happens. That's when your brain clears toxins, repairs damage, and resets for the next day. But as people age, sleep quality declines, melatonin drops, sleep becomes lighter, more interrupted, less restorative. And when sleep suffers, everything suffers: memory, focus, energy, even mood. But kiwi contains natural compounds that help your body produce serotonin, which then converts into melatonin, helping regulate your sleep cycle naturally. People who consume kiwi before bed often experience deeper sleep, better recovery, and improved next-day mental clarity. Now imagine combining all three: blueberries for brain growth, pomegranate for cellular repair, kiwi for deep sleep. Together, they don't just support your brain, they create an environment where your brain can truly heal. And here's the most important part. This isn't about doing something extreme. It's about doing something consistent, because your brain doesn't need perfection. It needs support, daily support, small signals, repeated over time, because those small signals become powerful changes, and those changes determine how your brain ages. In part 2, I'll show you exactly how to use these fruits together, the correct timing, the biggest mistakes people make, and a simple nightly routine you can start tonight. Now that you understand how these three fruits work individually, it's time to bring everything together, because this is where the real transformation happens, not in isolated actions, but in how everything works as a system. Your brain doesn't repair in pieces, it repairs as a whole, and when you align the right signals at the right time, you don't just support your brain, you activate it. So let's build the simplest, most effective nighttime routine based on everything we've covered. No complicated steps, no extreme dieting, just a structured approach your body can follow naturally. Step 1, timing. This is the most important factor. You want to consume these fruits approximately 1 to 2 hours before sleep, not immediately before bed, not hours earlier. That window matters because your body needs time to absorb the nutrients, circulate them, and prepare for the repair phase that begins during early sleep. If you eat too late, digestion interferes with sleep. If you eat too early, the effects don't align with your brain's repair cycle, so that 1 to 2 hour window is where everything begins. Step 2, the combination. You don't need large portions. In fact, more is not better here. Balance is what matters. A small bowl of blueberries, roughly half to 1 cup, a few spoonfuls of pomegranate seeds, or a small glass of pure pomegranate juice, and 1 to 2 kiwi fruits. Simple, accessible, effective. Now here's where most people make their first mistake. They turn this into a dessert. They add sugar, syrups, processed yogurt, sweet toppings, and without realizing it, they cancel the benefits. Because sugar spikes your insulin, and insulin spikes disrupt your sleep cycle. They increase cortisol, the stress hormone, which directly interferes with deep sleep. And remember, without deep sleep, There is no real brain repair, so keep it clean, natural, unprocessed. That's where the power is. Now let's talk about something even more important, consistency, because one night won't change your brain, but repeated nights will. This is where most people fail. They try something once, don't feel an instant miracle, and quit. But your brain doesn't work that way. It responds to patterns, signals repeated over time. Think of it like this. Every night you follow this routine, you are sending your brain a message. Repair, clean, rebuild. And over time, that message becomes stronger, more effective, more consistent. Within the first few days, you may notice something subtle. Better sleep, falling asleep faster, waking up a little clearer. Within 1 to 2 weeks, that clarity becomes more noticeable. Less brain fog, better focus, sharper thinking, and over time, something even more powerful happens. Your baseline changes. You don't just feel better occasionally. You start operating at a higher level consistently. Now let's talk about the biggest mistakes people make, because avoiding these is just as important as doing the right things. Mistake number 1, late heavy meals. When you eat a large, heavy meal before bed, your body shifts into digestion mode instead of repair mode. Blood flow moves to your stomach instead of your brain, and your sleep becomes shallow, interrupted, inefficient. Mistake number 2, screen exposure before sleep. Phones, TV, bright lights. These suppress melatonin, the very hormone your brain needs to initiate deep sleep. So even if you eat the right foods, your brain still won't enter the state it needs to repair. Mistake number 3, inconsistent sleep timing. Your brain thrives on rhythm. Going to bed at different times every night confuses your internal clock and disrupts the entire repair cycle. Now here's what you want instead. A simple, repeatable pattern. Eat your fruits, dim the lights, reduce stimulation, allow your body to naturally transition into rest. Because the goal isn't just sleep, it's quality sleep, deep sleep, restorative sleep, the kind of sleep where your brain actually heals. Now let's go deeper for a moment, because there's something most people never realize. Your brain is not just reacting to what you eat, it's reacting to the environment you create. Every night, your thoughts, your stress levels, your habits, all of it sends signals to your brain. If your nights are filled with stress, overthinking, stimulation, your brain stays in a defensive state. But when your nights are calm, predictable, supportive, your brain shifts into repair mode naturally. So this isn't just about food, it's about creating a system, a rhythm, a signal your body recognizes and responds to. Now imagine this, night after night, you give your brain what it needs, better sleep, better nutrients, better timing, week after week. That repair compounds. Your brain becomes more efficient, more resilient, more protected. And over time, that's what determines how you age. Not just physically, but mentally. Because the goal isn't just living longer. It's staying sharp, clear, independent, confident. And here's the truth. You don't need something extreme to achieve that. You need something consistent, something simple, something your body understands. And that's exactly what this routine provides. Now here's your challenge. Starting tonight, don't overthink it. Pick one fruit if you need to, or use all 3, but follow the timing. Keep it simple, and stay consistent for at least 2 weeks. Pay attention to how you feel, your sleep, your clarity, your energy, because once you notice the difference, you won't want to go back. And if this helped you see your brain differently, if it gave you something practical, something real, then don't keep it to yourself. Share it, because there are millions of people out there who believe their brain is simply aging, when in reality, it's just waiting for the right signals. Your brain is not done, it's not broken, it's waiting. And tonight, you finally know how to help it.